Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Today I will be very briefly discussing with you the normal parameters recommended by WHO which makes drinking water acceptable or safe for drinking purposes. Before starting with my video lecture, I will pay my sorry for not wearing PPEs despite standing in the lab. For the sake of voice character, I have put off the PPEs and accept my sorries for them. Now we start with normal parameters which are acceptable for safe drinking water. WHO recommends that the microbiological properties of drinking water must be zero E. coli. That is, there must be no E. coli per ml of drinking water. Presence of E. coli in drinking water indicates fecal contamination or sewerage contamination of drinking water pipelines. Next, we have got turbidity. The acceptable value for turbidity is less than 5 NTU. NTU is a unit for turbidity. It must be less than 5. Higher the turbidity, more risk of infection of drinking water. So, for safe and healthy drinking water, turbidity must be low. Students, increased turbidity decreases the effectiveness of chlorine disinfection. Next, we move towards pH. The safe pH range is 6.8 to 8.5. 6.8 to 8.5. Acidic pH, it increases the risk of heavy metal toxicity because there is increased lead, copper and mercury deposition in drinking pipelines when there is acidic pH. On the other hand, alkaline pH, it increases the chances of infection. Why? Because it again decreases the effective function of chlorine as a disinfectant. Now we have got color. The color of drinking water must be less than 15 TCU. TCU stands for true color units. It must be less than 15. Taste which is acceptable by the community. Temperature. The acceptable temperature for healthy and safe drinking water is less than 15 degrees centigrade. Now we have got TDS, total dissolved units. It must be less than 1000. That is, the total dissolved particles in drinking water, it must be less than 1000. And for ideal taste and for ideal water, it must be less than 600 dissolved units. When there is increased TDS value of drinking water, that is more than 1000 milligram per ml of water, then a person can develop gastric and intestinal irritations. There is increased inflammation of the gastrointestinal tract. Next, we have got nitrates. Nitrates must be less than 50 milligrams per liter of water. I repeat, nitrates must be less than 50 milligrams per liter of drinking water because increased nitrates is being converted into nitrite, and this nitrite, it oxidizes the hemoglobin, and this oxidized hemoglobin leads to methemoglobin formation, and there is a clinical condition called blue baby syndrome. It is because of deposition of methemoglobin. Then we have got fluoride. Audiences, fluoride level is very important for a safer health. it must be less than 0.5 milligram per ml of drinking water. I repeat, fluoride levels in good and safe healthy drinking water must be less than 0.5 milligram per liter of water. What happens when fluoride level exceeds? There is fluoridosis, and increased fluoridosis leads to bone deformities, mottling of tooth enamel. On the other hand, decreased fluoride level less than 0.5 milligram per liter of water, audiences, it leads to dental caries formation. Next, we have got arsenic. Keep one thing in mind, that these heavy metals must be in very minute and negligible amounts. What are those heavy metals? Arsenic, mercury, cadmium, chromium. Their values roughly must be less than 0.001 milligram per liters of water. In modern world, there are increasing levels of arsenic in drinking water, cadmium, mercury. So one must take a careful look on the levels of these heavy metals. Next, we have got chlorine levels. Chlorine level must not exceed the normal values, because increased or decreased chlorine levels makes drinking water more susceptible to microorganisms. So this was very brief about parameters which are essential to mark any water safe for drinking purposes. Please take a careful look of your drinking water. Immediately go for analysis of your drinking water sources and compare those parameters of the analysis report which I have uh, provided you. Safe drinking water leads to safer health, and safe health leads to safe community and safe nations. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.